the opening monologue could have been things that this little girl has heard while she replays them to the doll. This clearly seems as if she's coping with what she's had to deal with. It's clear from her hair that something not right has occurred. The abuse this child has endured, we see then transferred to this doll. And also it's apparent about the petrified look of the doll. And then the worms, which represent her own individualized terror. The slow walk of the parent approaching and the sound design of the heels and the heavy breathing instills a sense of terror, a sense of suspense. And then we get to see the sores and then we get to see the leeches. The ending gives us a sense that this child will retaliate against her abuser, that she has been suffering this abuse because she is not fitting into whatever box it is that her mother has for her. And we get the sense of this because she keeps on referencing her as um I'll have my little girl back and sugar and spice and everything nice. And you're not allowed to play in dirt. So you're not allowed to play with toys, which gives me a sense that this child identifies more so with the tomboyish things or more masculine things, which, is a completely normal thing, but clearly not a normal thing for her mother. Um, and so these dolls that, we open on this whole dollhouse in this very pinkish, girlish environment, um, the way these dolls are presented is very clear that these dolls are not something this little girl reveres. It's almost like these dolls are something she has grown to hate because they're associated with her terror of the abuse that she is dealing with from her mother.
I liked the dollhouse specifically. I think in the beginning when you're panning around the room and you see the dollhouse and how chaotic it is and how the dolls are kind of like throwing a screw and whatnot. I thought it was a good representation of her home life and how she feels like everything's chaotic and everything's not how it seems, and she feels like she's just being tossed around. So I thought that was pretty good, a good parallel, good symbolism there, and I thought that was great. I'm still also very much in love with the last shot with the blade, which I feel like really kind of signified that she might retaliate and take the power back. How it's going to turn out, we don't know, but I feel like I kind of like the insinuation that she might try something. And like, no matter how young you are, no matter how old you are, like you have a right to um, fight for what feels right for you. And I feel like when something's not right. Some people might not, but she knows when something's not right, and she's tired of it. And I truly love this piece. I think the little girl is such a good actress. She does a really good job.
I love that it was from a child's perspective. It and we see her doing to her Barbie what her mother is doing to her with the leeches. It was a really great representation of how children see abuse and how that is passed on through generations almost. We see her just repeating what is being done to her Barbie, and perhaps in the future she'll do this to her daughter. It's a representation of generational trauma and abuse. And also, I know that in the real world, police and social workers will work out what abuse has been done to a child by asking them to point it out on a Barbie. So this could also be a representation of that happening. But something as harmless as a gummy worm takes on a whole other meaning when we see the end of this film. So that was a definite chill that you get at the end when you realize what's being done to her and how she's expressing that through her toys.
I love this amazing setting with an apparently pink, lovely, enjoyable setting, and the music is also whimsical. Then you have this initial scene. It's very cryptic with this glass bottle, and it's magnificently done. The performances are amazing. The fear in the girl's face, it's just outstanding performance. And with the music, you have this vibe. It's very mixed vibe, but it's perfect. We have this twist on the intentionality of the whole piece, and that last scene with this the stare of the girl is just subtle and just very, very straightforward.
Overall, I really love the color grading. I think it's absolutely brilliant use of lighting and colors. This orangish filter, kind of dusk, for example, dusk time during the day, and when everything is ending, like kind of apocalypse, and these young girl dressing and playing with a doll, and then she has to go somewhere with her mother, but she's holding still a razor blade, meaning something's gonna happen, something bad is gonna happen.
Incredibly creepy and horrifying, but it's also extremely effective. I think the setup of a child resembling a toy, interacting with it, and then we kind of see the story unfold and the reality unfold is really great for like really hitting us in the realization emotions. And visually it works really well too in terms of how the lighting is set up and this little world is created. So really great short film.